Welcome to the English portion of the presentation. My name is Lisa Schynders, and I'm an English teacher here at Chicago Christian. I have the pleasure of teaching 9th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade students here. I teach Honors Intro to Lit in 9th grade, AP Language and Composition, and Comp and Grammar in 12th grade. And all of those classes, every English class here is really designed to celebrate language as a gift that God has given us. That's a big part of our philosophy here. We believe that language is about communication and language is about connection. And so it's really our pleasure to learn with our students, to teach them, to encourage them to think critically, to ask questions, to write well, to express themselves, and to really be a part of making their world and their community a better place. We think English gives us the opportunity to do that in so many different ways. So here at Chicago Christian, there are a few things that you can expect as students. Our focus is on the long term. We want to send graduates out into this world who make a difference. We really believe that it's important that each of our students become well-versed in the English language, but also have the opportunity to grow as Christ followers. We think the language encourages us to think through, to struggle with some of the key topics. It allows us to figure out who we are in God's world and where He's placed us, and what our response can be to the world around us. We want our students to grow in their knowledge, to know how to find that knowledge. In the world today, when we're so overloaded with information, how do we teach our kids where to look and how to process it? And so we work on that in our English classes, that they are indeed seekers of knowledge and users of knowledge as well. We want them to be pursuers of justice. And so in much of our reading, we struggle with some of the challenges, some of the big world questions. And so we grow and we have opportunities to have those class discussions and to question and to challenge and to learn. And then again, caretakers of creation. God has put us into this world for a reason. And English is a really good place to learn and grow and explore and discover some of that as we go through. So English here at Chicago Christian is just really celebrating that gift of language that God has given to us. So our language curriculum here prepares our students to be well-rounded people who go out into their world and into their community as full participants who make a difference in the world around them and who are a blessing in so many ways to the people that they serve. So what would you expect here? We have 5 standards that shape our curriculum: listening, speaking, reading and writing, and then we add to that 5th component of citizenship. So those standards as we're working through there, and so we get to do a lot of reading. Some of you might be familiar with some of the reading that we do. We have some of the classics, like our freshmen read To Kill a Mockingbird, our sophomores read Lord of the Flies, our juniors read Huck Finn and The Great Gatsby, and our seniors will study Hamlet and some of the works of Shakespeare as they work through there. So we're really exposed and rooted into some of the classics. Those ideas, those themes, those values haven't really changed through the years, and so we celebrate that. But we also recognize that we are preparing students for a different world than 50 years ago. And so in addition to that, we're looking at new works of literature. Our juniors look at Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, and we see the seniors taking a look at Grit. So new titles, recent titles, a lot of current events and essay reading so they can keep up with what's happening in their world and the world around them. And so we want to have both the old and the new as we work through there. We want to give our students opportunities to move just beyond pen and paper, and so many of their responses are collaborative. They're working together in groups. They're preparing visual rhetoric and visual arguments. And so just different ways to prepare them for the world that's ahead of them, being both rooted in the old and learning about the new. And so we think that's a really important piece of the education here at Chicago Christian. As freshmen, you have 2 pathways that you will choose. You have Honors Intro to Lit or regular Intro to Lit. And then as sophomores, you will have World Literature or Honors World Literature. 11th and 12th grade, you have the choice of a regular track or an AP Advanced Placement track. AP Language and Composition would be the choice for 11th grade if you would choose to take that. If you go the other path, you would take American Literature. And in our senior year, you have a choice of AP Literature or Comp and Grammar. We also have several electives that students can choose from to fine-tune and polish their English skills. Very popular ones with our students are journalism and creative writing. Kids are always clamoring to get into those classes. We don't offer them every semester, so one tip might be to look and see what years they're offered or what semesters they're offered, so you can make sure to get that into your schedule as you're making your plans. Students also are fond of modern fiction. And then additionally, we have a communications elective that would be a part of it. Those are all very popular classes with kids here when they're looking at electives. We also have some enrichment activities. So there's Read Between the Lines, which is the book club that we have here for students. They have some great conversations. It's student-led. They choose their books. Different field trips. We've been to the Shakespeare Theater, lots of plays around here. Those are kind of popular field trips. Get out, experience the plays on stage. We also have ACEs that our English students partake in and drama. So there's just different ways that you can celebrate God's gift of words in different enrichment activities. Ultimately, we really want to empower our students here to be critical learners, creative thinkers. We want them to be people who go out and make a difference in their world. And so we celebrate God's gift of language, the way it connects us to each other and the way it prepares us to be a part of His creation in many different ways. Normally, this is the time for our question and answer period. So if you would have any questions, feel free to email me at lschneiders@swchristian. We thank you for taking the time tonight to come check us out. And we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions. Hope to see you or your student next year.